Do you remember the first time we worked together at Sky then, Cammy?
I do indeed.
You've got a long memory then.
Oh, no, my first time on the panel, absolutely, a midweek sports special. I got invited by Ian Condo, the producer, to do a midweek sports special. And I couldn't believe it, really. He had me on Clive Allen, Alan Mullery and Frank McClintock and me.
Wow.
And that was the first time I was on there. And Frank used to be my manager at Brentford. So I knew him well. So I got talking to him and he was great. Clive Allen was brilliant as well. And Mullers, I'd met Mullers a couple of times at Fulham. So he was fine, but I just kept thinking, should I be here? You know, but you made me feel so welcome.
No, those boys, they were great. All three of those guys, fantastic guys.
Yeah.
But eventually, I mean, you carved out a role for yourself, didn't you? Because everybody who goes to, cover Saturday football as an in-vision reporter now, for whichever channel they work for, they all owe it to you.
Yeah.
Because you were the original, you were the prototype. Do you remember that Cammy Cam we called it?
I know. We did a dummy run at Cambridge United.
And we still carried on.
So me and Colin MacDonald, it was only me and him. He was the cameraman. So Condor had this idea. He put it to you, didn't he? This idea of sending somebody out. And so he rang me and he went, I've had this idea of sending you out to the football grounds. I went, Condor, to be honest, people haven't really got their head round people watching the sets in the studio. And he went, do you want to do it or not? So I went, yeah, of course. So we went to Cambridge and I was on the touchline, would you believe? It was only a practice. So I was on the touchline. So Roy McFarlane was the Cambridge manager. I was stood literally 2 yards from where he was. So he'd come running out when the ball went out of play and grab the ball near me or whatever. And we'd have a chuckle and a laugh. And they won the game. So I interviewed him afterwards, sent all the footage to Condo, and never heard a word for a fortnight. So I rang him up and I went, have you canned that idea? And he went, no, not at all. We've just been so busy with the show, but are you available for Oxford on Saturday? So Oxford and Cambridge, the first two games.
You've got to universities, Cammy.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So I got to Oxford. I told Colin MacDonald, we make sure we're early. So I got set up 12 o'clock, kickoffs at 3 on the halfway line with a great view. So I'm going through it. How do I address Jeff when he comes over? Am I going to be serious or am I going to have a laugh? You go through all those scenarios in your head. We about to go live. Condo sends me a message, 20 to 2, for me and you to link up. So great. Just 5 minutes before, the ITV cameraman turns up, who's been doing it for 27 years, and he goes, you're in my spot. I went, look, there's loads of room. Sky have got the rights to this. No, I've been doing this for 27 years. You need to move. Just as that, Condo says, right, live to Jeff. So this cameraman decides to walk across the vision. So he walks past And then he tries to walk back, and I'm holding him off like that. And I've said, yeah, it's all right, Jeff. So I slaughtered him afterwards. I went, do you realise I was live there? You're in my spot. You better move. So Colin said, look, we don't need that if they come back to us. Let's move. So we moved. And you never came back, Jeff. Never came back. So I thought that was it. I phoned Condo on the Monday and said, look, apologies. And on the following Saturday, Soccer AM showed that clip of me holding off the cameraman, right, and talking through that. And then it was alive. Everyone loved it. And they showed that clip. Russ did it when they did my send-off with you at the end.
Wow.
I never knew it existed. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'll be honest, when it was suggested to me, we already had 4 people talking about football matches that nobody at home could see. So the idea of sending a reporter to a game where he'd stand with his back to the action for most of the time sounded, you know, a bit off to me, a bit absurd, yeah. But it worked, and it brought us some great moments. We've got lots of things to talk about, great moments. And obviously I'm going to pick a couple of them, cameos, you at games. The one that the one that everybody will talk about is the red card at Portsmouth.
I know. It's great though, isn't it? You know,
however many years ago it was, and people still talk about it.
Yeah. 2010, I think it was, Jeff. And now I'll never. People say, "Do you get fed up when that gets mentioned?" No, I don't. Not at all. You know, it could have went either way. That situation. Thankfully, it went the right way. But I always think that is the moment that catapulted me into mainstream TV.
Yeah.
You know, I'd done
because
TV.
It went viral, didn't it?
Yeah, I'd done TV bits before, but from then on it just went crazy and wild. I always remember I got to Fratton Park that day, Portsmouth versus Blackburn, and they said, "Oh, you're not allowed in the gantry." So I went, "Why?" They went, "Health and safety, only the commentators and the main commentators are allowed in the gantry. You can't go up there." So where can I go? You're in the corner next to the Fratton. So I went over there. It seemed fine, no worries. I got pitch side right by the corner flag. And then health and safety came once again and said, "Look, it's raining. This is a passageway for people. You need to go 10 yards back." So I went, "I can't see 10 yards back." And they went, "Look, all or nothing." So I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Can I stand there without the camera?" And they went, "Yeah, that's fine, but you can't bring the camera up there." So I was looking over my shoulder. Carly Bassett, who's the link between me and you, said to me, "Jeff's going to come to you," right? And just as she said that, Charlie shouted, "Goal!" So you went to Charlie. So she went, "Right, you're next." I looked round, back at the game, back at the camera, and Tomo shouted, "Goal!" in his game. So eventually you came to me, "Let's go down to Chris
Kamara." There's been a red card at Fratton Park, Chris Kamara, but to who?
I don't know, Jeff. I said,
red card, must have missed that. I think you blamed the rain getting in your eyes.
I said the rain must have got in my eye. I actually saw Abraham Grant on the touchline, right? So I thought, you know, maybe he's brought a sub on or whatever, but I missed it totally. And I thought, should I tell lies and say, "Oh yeah, Jeff, yeah, okay then." But no, I stuck to it.
It was a wonderful moment. One of my other favourite moments, Cammy, was Papa Bouba Diop.
Oh, the man mountain himself.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, has he scored? Might have. Might not have. Think
David
so?
Ely.
Not sure.
David Ely is running away. Yeah, we had some great times,
fantastic.
Jeff. Yeah. You know, the fighting like beavers, which I meant to say working like beavers, but it came out wrong. And you, as quick as a flash, as usual,
Like
picked
beavers.
up on it.
It was easy to pick up on, Cammy, you know. It's end-to-end stuff, but it's all at the forest end. I mean,
Well, it was true. I still don't get that one.
No, they were just some wonderful, wonderful moments. And I tell you, one of the other things that really surprised me after all of these years, you know, I don't even know how it came about, Cammy. Unbelievable, Jeff.
I know.
I mean, how did that happen, and how did it become almost a national catchphrase?
Yeah. It was the year 2000, and they did the Christmas funnies, you know. I think it was the first time I was involved in the funnies. I did 99, 2000 season, so I thought, you know, they didn't mention it then, and I was hardly in the funnies. And then they kept showing me saying, "Unbelievable, Jeff, unbelievable, Jeff." And I actually got to QPR versus Man City, and the lads must have been watching it on the coach, the Man City lads. Kevin Keegan was the manager, and they all came onto the pitch just before the game to look round the stadium, and I went, "Unbelievable, Jeff," and I thought, what are they on about? And then you'd picked up that I'd been saying it, so it came about without knowing.
And I'm sure it happens to you. It happens to me. It's what everybody shouts at you is "Unbelievable, Jeff."
Yeah.
And you've always got to laugh as if they're the first person who's ever said it.
Of course, yeah. There are the ones who say it the first time during that day that I acknowledge and say, "Yeah, you're the first of many."
Now, thanks for watching Football's Greatest on YouTube. But can I ask you please to hit that subscribe button? That way you won't miss any of our future episodes, and we have some great guests coming up on the show.